What you doing?
Turning down the bed.
Turn down my own bed. My leg's not that bad.
No. I'm not leaving, Kirk. It's time. It's time for us to start sharing one bed, like any other husband and wife.
I thought we agreed to wait.
For how long? For what?
I don't know, Emily. I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm quite ready yet.
Kirk, I could understand before when you didn't want to make love to me. We were like strangers, but today you said you were beginning to love me.
Yes. I did say that.
That's all I ever wanted, was for you to love me. Kirk, when two people are in love, then they should be together like this. How can that be? Don't worry, I'll see you. Just get ready for bed, okay?
Mrs. Scott heard that you weren't well. She asked me to come back and look after you. I thought it was a very good idea.
Molly, I am fine. Just
well,
fine.
I don't know. I thought a little about that decision you made, and we really have to talk.
Molly, I am just going to do what I have to do. That's all there is to it.
No, it isn't as simple as that.
Molly, look, we can't talk
yes,
right
we
now.
must. Nothing can be more important. Now, since we share the secret, we share a responsibility. And what I want to tell you may affect your whole future life, so just don't try and stop me. Just listen. Miss Emily, if you want to keep Kirk as your husband, you are going to have to leave Monticello.
And go where?
Well, it doesn't matter. As long as it's far enough away to a place where nobody has ever seen or heard of that man.
You mean just go someplace else and start our lives over?
It's the only way.
I guess it makes sense.
Emily, what's going on? Molly. What are you doing here?
Hello, Kirk.
Is something wrong?
Oh, no. Molly just had a personal problem she wanted to talk over with me, that's all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I disturbing you?
No, don't be silly. Our home is your home.
Thank you.
Is there anything I can do?
No, it's just women talk. I'm sure you wouldn't be interested.
Oh, Emily and I can work it out.
Yeah, you just go on upstairs. I'll be up soon.
Okay. Good night, Molly.
Good night, Kirk.
I hope you work out the problem.
Yes. So do I.
Did you see the look on the hotel clerk's face when we told him we wanted separate rooms?
Did look a little pale when I told him they didn't have to be connecting, didn't he?
Yeah. Well,
Thought he'd faint dead away when I told him they didn't have to be on the same floor.
You know, it gives you kind of an indication of the type of clientele this place attracts.
Oh, yeah. If we'd asked for a single room and registered as Mr. and Mrs. Smith or something creative like Jones, he wouldn't have batted an eye.
True.
Tired? I don't blame you. It's been a long day. Not a very productive one either.
Why, you didn't like our conversation with the sheriff this evening?
I knew it was going to be like looking for a small needle in a large haystack, but I didn't think it would really be this rough, you know.
Yeah. You know, Logan, I keep thinking that even if we do find this person who switched the handcuffs, they're not going to confess it to us.
The person might not even be alive.
The question remains, is Draper alive?
Wish I knew how we were going to find out. Keep thinking about April. Sooner or later, she's going to learn that those bodies were misidentified. That it's going to leak out. Somebody's going to tell her. I'm going to have an explanation for her.
What did April say when you told her you didn't want her testimony in the custody trial?
I haven't told her yet. I'm saving that little bit of information for the last minute.
Why?
Because she's going to want me to change my mind, and I can't do that.
Well, I think you should have. I mean, I know that you're doing what you think is right, but it's such a sacrifice, Logan.
I didn't have any choice. Raven was right there. She was ready to march in and tell her all about it.
Yeah, but to exchange Raven's silence for April's testimony, it seems like you're undermining your entire case. You could lose.
I don't intend to lose.
Do you think you're still going to have a case?
Facts are still the facts. Raven abandoned our son. She gets custody, she'll do it again. I just have to convince Judge Lewis of that.
I think you're a cockeyed optimist, Logan Swift.
That's me.
And you're one heck of a nice guy, too.
Nice? Well, one of my least favorite words. I think I prefer noble.
Well, noble it is, then.
Foolish
noble
is a good word, too.
Oh,
Stupid has a certain ring.
I do admire what you did.
Drink your drink.
All right. Just put this in your mouth. No. Look, you can play this if you just put this in your mouth. Okay, Jamie, come on. You're being a royal pain in the neck. Will you just eat this, huh? Yeah? You can play this later, okay?
Maybe it's a tone of your voice. You sound like you're force-feeding a man-eating tiger.
Oh, shut up. If you can do any better, you come over here and do it yourself. Hey, Jamie, look.
Doesn't Jamie know it's past his bedtime?
He is not as fond of bedtime as you are, darling. Besides that, he still sleeps alone. Come on.
You're really going to have to get a sitter.
I don't have any money. But I'd love to get my hands on some cash.
Why not open your palms in my direction? The Elliott Dawn National Bank has stopped giving out loans right now.
Well, maybe I'll just have to change my lifestyle. I'll have to cut down on a few things. Although I must admit the thought of that gives me the hives.
Face it, darling, you'll never change.
I wonder if he's too young to put in a summer camp.
Even that costs a pretty penny.
What am I gonna do?
Well, as far as I can see, you got two alternatives. One is to buy a winning lottery ticket. The others are no good.
Mom, yeah.
Secondly, you can wire Mama and tell her to increase your allowance.
All right. I've already bought a lottery ticket. It's in my purse, and it's wrapped around a four-leaf clover. All right. All right. I'm going to take you to bed just for a second, okay? Just for a second. Now, you come in here, and you go to sleep. Okay? All right. Be a good boy. And I've also written a letter to Mother. And, I, in a very nice way, put the bite on her.
What did she say?
Well, I haven't gotten a reply yet, but I'm sure the answer is going to be no. She has a lot of money, but she does not like parting with it.
Is there mention of any financial things in that letter?
What letter?
Oh, the one lying by the phone, one with the English stamps on.
I forgot all about this. The first 3 letters I opened were bills, and I was so depressed I didn't even look at it. Besides that, all she ever does is yell at me in her letters and give me stupid advice.
Oh, maybe this one will have something of interest.
Well, there's no check. She says the weather is lousy. I hear that every time. Wait a minute.
What, does she mention money?
No. But I think I can probably ask her for it in person because she is coming to Monticello.
Well, I'm looking forward to meet Mr. and Mrs. Ansel Scott.
Well, don't hold your breath because she's coming by herself.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it seems that he's held up with some litigation at the Old Bailey.
When did she say she's coming?
She doesn't say exactly, but she says approximately a fortnight.
And what is the purpose of this visit?
She's sick. She's been very ill the past few months, and she can't seem to find a doctor out there. So she wants to come back here and meet with a doctor friend of ours who she trusts.
Oh, well, you can have another house guest.
Are you kidding? Not on your life. Mother will rent one of the most elegant suites in Monticello, and that's just fine with me because the Palace of Versailles would be too small for the two of us. Say nothing of this dump.
She'll want to see the baby. The heir to a millions.
That's true. I have 2 weeks to get ready, and I have so much to do.
Such as what?
Well, first I'm going to have to go paint the nursery. Or maybe I can put up some wallpaper with that stupid Mother Goose stuff on it. And then I'm going to have to buy some furniture other than the crib. And I'll have to go to the toy store and get a bunch of stuffed animals and, of course, some educational games.
Jamie's not going to know what hit him. Be careful, he might think you love him.
Look, seeing is believing. And Mother is soon going to see what a wonderful mother I am. Hello? Oh, sure, just a minute. It's for you. It's the unicorn. I think it's Charlie.
This had better be good, Charlie. I told you not to contact me here except in emergencies.
This is an emergency, boss.
Don't tell me the house is on fire.
No, it's nothing like that. We got a sort of a riot going on here.
Oh, I knew I should have hired a bouncer.
No, the place is packed with a bunch of nice-looking kids, but they're all standing around demanding to see Kelly's puppets.
What has Bill Graff been doing? Plugging his dolls outside the door again?
Well, it seems that some DJ on one of the rock and roll stations gave us a plug. And he said the kids showed up to be in store for a terrific free puppet show.
Well, what are you waiting for, Charlie? Give the people what they want. Get McGrath out from behind that light board and put him on center stage.
No can do, boss. Kelly's not here. He's just night off.
That's the way you do that move, Sharon. You have to glide across the stage. We may make a dancer out of you yet. No, wait a minute, Jody. The idea is to do the whole routine. Now, I know the combination's difficult for you, but you're never going to get it if you keep leaving parts of it out.
Okay. It won't happen again.
Okay. Very nice. What can I do for you?
Well, how are you, Gavin?
You know me?
Well, sure. We met the other night at the Unicorn Disco. Yeah, I work there with Jody. My name's Kelly McGrath.
Right. It all comes back to me now. Legs I remember, but I'm no good with names and faces.
Hey, this is really a neat place.
It's your basic dance studio. I'm glad it meets with your approval.
Well, Jody tells me she spends a lot of her free time here. Since I've never seen her dance, I thought I'd come down and check out her act.
Well, all we do here is exercises and work out. There's no floor show.
Well, I didn't mean to get in the way of anything.
You want to watch? Watch. But just stand there and don't stick your foot out to trip anybody.
Oh, sure, I'll stay out of your way.
Kelly, hi. What are you doing here?
Well, I just happened to be in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd stop by and say hello.
So did Gavin sign you up for any lessons yet?
Mr. McGrath is here strictly as a spectator. You're the attraction.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, I've never been in a dance studio before. I've never had any reason to be, so it gave me a good excuse. Besides, I wanted to see you dance, and you're very good.
Well, thank you.
I hope you don't mind my being here. I don't want to make you feel self-conscious.
No, don't worry. I love to have an audience, really.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Kelly, but the show's over for tonight. You've had enough for tonight, Jody. Okay, that was nice. That's it for tonight, okay?
Well, I have to say, for once, my muscles agree with you. So if you'll excuse me, since Gavin is letting me out of the coal mines, I'd like to freshen up. I'll see you later.
Sure. Jody tells me that you can be very demanding.
I want my students to be dancers, not hoofers.
Well, do you like teaching?
I'm good at it. Most of these women moved like elephants before they came to me.
Do you ever dance professionally? I mean, like on Broadway?
Yeah, I danced near Broadway. But did a couple of reviews.
Well, how come you didn't stick with it?
Well, the fame and fortune part was great, but I couldn't hack being interviewed all the time.
Oh. Jody and I have a lot in common, you know.
It's good to hear that.
Yeah, we're both waiting for a big break.
Everybody's in showbiz. And what do you do, Mr. McGrath?
Well, I'm a puppeteer. And pretty good at it, too.
Well, as long as you enjoy it.
Yeah, well, you know, I was just watching you dancers, and it was giving me an idea for a routine. I'm thinking about designing this jazz ballet for my puppets.
You think you can handle the choreography?
Well, yeah, that would be the really challenging part. I mean, how do you create a dance with puppets that don't have any legs?
You like Jody, don't you?
Well, what brought that up?
It's pretty obvious.
Well, sure I like Jody. Don't you?
I try not to like my students too much. Business and pleasure don't mix.
Yeah, but still, it can't always be that simple. Not when you have a student like Jody.
Night, Dad. Good night.
Molly, it's such a drastic step. Kirk and I are just getting settled here. How am I going to pull this complete turnaround without looking suspicious?
You'll just have to come up with some kind of explanation.
But what is Dr. Kavanaugh going to think about my leaving the job even before I've started?
You can't worry about that. Just tell him anything you like. Or maybe that you've decided to stay at home and you don't want to be a working wife. I mean, it is ridiculous for you to work in that office. He's Kirk's brother-in-law.
You're right. All I'd need is Kirk to stop by one day to surprise me at the office.
Those are the risks you take every day you stay in Monticello.
How am I going to break this to Kirk? How am I going to tell him about this house? I almost begged him to buy it for us.
Living in this house is like living in a time bomb. You do understand that.
But we're so isolated here. And he's awfully happy, Molly.
But Kirk was happy here once before. This is the very house he lived in as April Scott's husband.
That's right. That is the reason he likes it, even though he doesn't understand it.
And every second that he stays in these surroundings could trigger his memory and bring back all the past, his real past. Emily, if you truly want a life with this man, you have got to leave this house, leave this town, and get as far away from his friends and his places that he's familiar with as quickly as you possibly can.
You're right. It is the only solution.
Yes.
Sleep well, darling. Everything's gonna be all right. I have just as much right.
Next time you get to Evansville, stop in and dine with us again.
Thank you, Will. The food was good. Thanks for your cooperation as well.
Oh, I'm sorry I couldn't have been of more help.
I want to give you my card. If you remember anything at all else about the night at the wreck, why don't you give me a call?
Of course I will.
Appreciate
Just
it.
take a look at this picture again and see if you've ever seen this man before.
I've never seen that man in the flesh. The night of the train crash or any other night.
You're talking about the Grand Falls Express wreck?
Yeah, we are.
Terrible thing to happen, just terrible.
You didn't happen to go down to the site of the wreck that night, did you, by any chance?
Me? No, that would have been a little too gruesome for my taste. But I could see the flames from my bedroom window. I stayed up half the night, watching the sky all lit up and listening to the news flashes on the radio.
Did you see a stranger wandering around by any chance?
As a matter of fact, I did. But at first, I thought it must have been one of the boys who stayed at closing time at the Peppermill Bar. The way he was walking, he could hardly stand up. But he looked a little too shabby. I guess he was some tramp.
Could you look at this and see maybe this is the man?
It was dark, and he was kind of far away. But it could have been him, I suppose.
Which way was he heading?
North of my place. If he managed to keep himself on course, he would have wound up at old Dr. Galt's place.
Dr. Galt, huh? Thank you very much.
Next step.
old and about to have the time of my life. I want to go on every ride. I want to stop at every pizza and hot dog and hamburger stand.
Well, if you eat all that stuff, you're going to get sick like a little girl, too.
You are glad we came, aren't you?
Of course I am. I hate to let those tickets Jock gave us go to waste.
No, don't say that. It's just because of that.
Well, why? Good. I wanted you to get out and have a good time for a change.
Just talk about me. Talk about us. Nothing means anything unless it's for both of us.
All right. I'm glad we're getting out and having a good time. The day is young, the weather is beautiful, yes. And the tickets, my dear, are free. Where do you think we ought to go? We have a lot of choices here now. Here's one for the whip, the tunnel of love, the roller coaster, the rocket, the rotor. What do you think?
Well, they all sound terrific, but I know which one I especially want.
Which one?
This one.
What?
It's the old mill, also known as the tunnel of love.
Oh, Miss Emily.
Oh, April, she's absolutely heaven. She's lovely. Logan didn't exaggerate in the slightest.
Do you hear that, young lady? There's a man going around town talking about you.
Oh, of course he does. He talks about her all the time. Of course, there is one unhappy note in this whole business. He misses his own child desperately.
That is sad.
For Logan and for you, you must miss Jamie an awful lot.
Of course I miss him. But the most difficult thing for me is seeing how much Logan misses him.
Yeah. Didn't Logan get to see Jamie fairly recently?
Yes, he finally found out where Raven was living. And needless to say, that child was in shameful condition.
No.
Well, I don't mean he was sick or abused or anything like that, but just neglected. But what can you expect of a mother like Raven? It's sickening, April. That's the only word for it.
Well, I hate to say it, but the worse Raven treats that baby, the less her chances are of keeping him.
Well, I don't think we have to worry about his being mistreated, at least until the custody suit is settled.
Oh.
But if she wins the day, I hate the thought that her mistreating him might turn into something worse.
Oh, I don't want to believe that.
Well, I don't either, I suppose. We just can't even think about Logan losing this case. That would be unthinkable. And once the judge hears the truth about Raven's behavior through this whole thing...
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but has Logan said anything to you about deciding not to use me as a witness?
What are you talking about?
Raven was here last night, and she told me that Logan has decided not to use me as a witness because he doesn't need me. I told Raven that there was no reason in the world why I should believe anything she says, and I'd just wait to hear it from Logan.
Good Lord.
Obviously, he hasn't spoken to you about it.
He hasn't said a word to me about this. April, it took us long enough to convince Logan that he wouldn't have a case without you. What on earth made him change his mind?
I don't know. If he did change his mind, it certainly didn't have anything to do with me. I never gave him any idea that I didn't want to testify.
This whole thing is baffling. Surely he must realize he has to marshal all his forces for this case. He can't hold back any ammunition, and it seems to me that he's holding back his best artillery.
Well, I don't know what to do. I guess just wait until he comes back from his vacation, his little fishing trip.
Fishing trip? I don't understand that either.
What do you mean?
I mean to say that Logan Swift has never been fishing in his entire life. He doesn't even own a fishing rod.
Well, I'm sure you can rent them easily enough, unless Deborah has an extra one.
Deborah?
Oh, I know, Geraldine, I might be completely wrong about this, but Deborah and Logan did go to the same place, they did leave at the same time, and I'm sure they drove there together.
Well, this is a day of surprises.
Nothing was said to you. I thought maybe Deborah would have said something since she's your stepdaughter.
Well, actually, I haven't seen much of Deborah lately, but then she's been very involved in her career. April, you don't suppose this trip has anything to do with police work, do you?
Well, Deborah said her trip did. Logan said his trip didn't. He said it was vacation. He needed to get away for a couple of days.
Well, surely you don't suppose that... I shouldn't really say anything like this.
Say what?
That they're going off together was some sort of romantic thing?
Serious. You take your average person, a little disappointment will ruin his appetite. Me, I'm ravenous.
Well, I'm glad I'm not like you. I'd be several sizes bigger than I am right now.
Especially after a day like today.
Hi, you two back again? You must really like this place.
Best restaurant in Evansville. Only restaurant in Evansville.
No, it isn't. You got the Splendor Diner down the street.
The Splendor.
Oh, yes. We slid past the Splendor this morning. You know, I've seen greasy spoons before, but this place had a silver place for 8.
Splendor in the grease, we call it.
Splendor in the grease.
Let me show you your table.
Wasn't such a good job.
Oh, terrible joke.
This okay?
Oh, favorite table. Yes, thank you.
Hey, listen, you people have any luck today?
Oh, yeah. It didn't rain, no tornadoes. We didn't have a flat tire on the way out there, but that was about it, wouldn't you say?
You found the place, the old golf place.
Oh, yeah, we found it. It was the only house in the vicinity.
You know, it used to be a farmhouse. Most of the big houses in this part of the country were farmhouses once.
You know, that's very interesting. You sort of neglected to tell us, though, that nobody lived in this ex-farmhouse.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's right. I think I knew that the old man had died, and I heard something about that his daughter moved away, but there was someone else who lived there at one time.
Who was that?
The housekeeper, I think. I think she inherited the place or something. I don't know. It's hard enough keeping up with all the local gossip without going 20 miles out of town for it.
Well, if anybody asks you, the place is now boarded up and there's a for sale sign out front.
You went all that way for nothing. I'm sorry.
Well, don't worry about it. I mean, it wasn't your fault.
Well, look at it this way. Maybe I was wrong about the tramp I saw, the one I thought was headed towards a golf place.
Oh, gee, that's a real big help. I mean, we've been going on a wild goose chase all day, and now you say it doesn't matter.
Only trying to make you feel better.
Well, maybe a little food would make us feel better, huh? What's this blue plate special?
We don't have any blue plates. How about a white plate special?
Restaurant humor.
Well, as long as it's a clean plate. I gotta have a bowl of soup.
We got minestrone. It's out of a can, but in this place, it's a way to go.
I'll go that way.
I'll have the same thing, and a BLT down.
What's a BLT down?
Bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich on toast.
Gee, that's clever. Be right back.
I wonder if she's as flaky as the pie crust. I'm gonna make a deal with you right now. The next person that says wild goose chase gets fined $5.
Fine with me. Fine. What time is it?
About noon.
Excuse me. Oh, do you have a dime?
Sure. Oh, you got a hot date or something?
Don't I wish.
There you go.
Thank you. Hello, operator. I would like to place a person-to-person long-distance phone call to the Monticello Police Department, Detective Calvin Stoner. This is Red Saxon. Thank you.
Fastest can opener in the West.
Calvin, hi, what's going on?
Hey, I'm okay. How are you guys? Listen, how's it going out there in the sticks?
Well, it's not going too well. I wish we had something better to report to you. We haven't had any luck in Grand Falls, and we haven't had any much better luck in Evansville.
Well, I hate to say I told you so, but I warned you about a wild goose chase.
This call just cost you $5, Stoner.
Are you kidding? On my salary, that might wipe me out. No, the PD's gonna have to pay for this one.
Well, anyway, I guess we shouldn't be so surprised about the way things turned out, huh?
No, however, I just might have a little surprise for you.
Oh, what is it?
Guess what arrived in your morning mail? A little letter from your old boyfriend, Steve.
Well, come on, Calvin, read the letter to me.
I couldn't do that. I mean, this is addressed to you, and it's even marked personal. Now, if I was to open it, that would be a federal offense.
Come on, this is ridiculous. It's not going to be a federal offense if I give you my permission.
Listen, are you asking me to commit a major crime right here in police headquarters?
This is so silly. Come on, Calvin. I want to know what Steve's been up to these days. Maybe he's even on his way home.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, he did say that he couldn't write until his undercover games were all over, so the letter could mean that his work's all finished, huh?
Well, we're not going to know unless you open the letter.
Thy minestrone cooleth.
Oh, excuse me one second. Calvin's got a letter from Steve, and he's not going to read it to me.
The beast.
I know, and it's my letter, too. I'm not going to be able to see it until I get back, and he won't read it.
Let me handle it. Detective Stoner, this is the district attorney speaking.
Oh, hello, Logan. How's it going? Listen, Red tells me you guys are really on a wild goose chase up there.
That remark's going to cost you $5.
10.
What are you guys talking about, huh?
Listen, if you agree to cooperate with the detective here, we'll forego the fine, but you've got to do as she asks.
Look, okay, if it really means that much to her, put her on.
Okay. Another job well done by your trashy men in action.
Okay, Calvin, go.
Okay, dear Deborah, clever opening. Sorry it's taken so long to get a letter off to you, but I thought it was best to keep out of touch with Monticello until this job was well in hand. As it happened, the payoff came sooner than anyone expected. In fact, within 2 weeks of playing hood, we blew the lid off the case and had enough evidence to close down the whole of Operation Tucson.
2 weeks? He's been gone a lot longer than that.
Yeah, he has, huh? Well, let's see. We had an ironclad case against Spencer, the man who committed the murder in Monticello, and I was asked to hang around to give testimony there. That explains it.
Yeah, well, it explains that, but it doesn't explain why he hasn't written to us till now.
What the rest of it has. It was a pretty soft life here for me, just hanging around and waiting, and I got pretty much into the social swing of things thanks to some nice guys I met on the Tucson PD. This is knockout, beautiful country around here, Deborah. It's a pleasure just to wake up in the morning and look out of the window. I've been doing a lot of riding, of course. You can't come out to this part of the world without getting on a horse. Something tells me I'm not getting to the point of this letter, so maybe I would just better do that. Deborah, I've already told Chief Mallory this to make it official, so I thought I'd better write to you as soon as I could, so that he doesn't have to break the news first with that deadpan look of his.
Well, go on, Calvin. What news?
The fact is, I've been offered a permanent spot on the Tucson PD, and it means a sizable promotion and a chance to live a kind of life I've always wanted to live.
My God.
I don't believe this. He's really gonna quit Monticello. Oh, for Pete's sake.
What is it?
Look, this is kind of personal. I really think that you ought to wait till
Calvin, would you just read the letter to me, please?
It gets very personal, and I really would rather not, okay?
Will you please just tell me what it says? He's blaming me for his decision, is that it?
No, Deborah, he's met someone.
What?
He met some chick out in Tucson. It says she's not a cop, doesn't want to be a cop, never even thought about being a cop. Just likes horses, cooking, kids. Oh, look, Red, don't put me through the rest of this, all right?
No, I guess I shouldn't have asked you to read the letter to me, huh? Calvin, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, okay, look, hang in there, all right?
Yeah, keep fighting that crime wave. Bye.
Well, your soup's congealed.
Doesn't matter.
Steve's not coming back, is he?
No, he's not coming back.
I hope you didn't go to too much trouble on this, Derek. I really didn't have the right to make the request in the first place.
Well, don't blame Miles. It was for me.
Now stop apologizing, okay? I told you I didn't assign the entire force to this case. I just checked out the normal sources, came up with a few facts on Miss Jody Travis.
Is this a police record?
No, she hasn't got a record. Well, it's not quite accurate. She's gotten a name on the police blotter, but not for the commission of a felony or anything like that.
Well, first of all, Derek, is she my sister?
On that score, I think it's a pretty safe assumption, yeah.
What were you able to find out?
That she was picked up as a runaway, more than once, as a matter of fact.
That's right, she told me about that.
Miles, we have to do something for Jody. We have to help her.
Well, I've already tried.
Oh?
I gave her some money.
You did?
Well, I gave her a check, and she seemed genuinely surprised. I was the one who was surprised, though, because she returned it to me.
She wouldn't take it.
That's remarkable.
Maybe it wasn't enough.
Derek.
No? Oh, sorry. Cynicism comes with my job.
It was $500. I think she thought that was enough. As a matter of fact, I think she thought it was too much.
You know, I'm really getting to like Jody Travis. Miles, Nicole, hello.
Raven.
And it's my favorite police chief.
Hello, Raven.
I haven't seen you in ages. You two are the handsomest couple in Monticello, don't you think so?
Right, Raven. Well, anyway, at the moment, we're the busiest. I've got to get back to the office.
You're right.
Miles
Oh, no, don't go yet. I'd like to have a little talk.
No, really, I don't have too much time
Oh, come on,
either.
Derek. 5 minutes, please. I have something very important to talk to you about.
All right.
Raven, really, I'm sorry, but I do have a scheduled meeting. Oh, that's okay.
Nicole, it's good seeing you again. Miles, talk to you soon.
Thank you very much. I'll see you down at headquarters
Okay.
in a couple of days.
Derek, thanks again.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Raven, your time has started.
I have a complaint.
No? What is it?
It's with you. You told Logan about what I told you.
I don't know what this game is now. Make yourself clear.
You know what I'm talking about Draper's autopsy.
Keep your voice down.
All right. The body that was supposed to be Draper's. You told Logan that I knew what was going on.
Well, I thought he should know. It's too bad if you disapprove.
Derek, how could I possibly disapprove of what you do? You make up your mind and nobody can change it. It's one of the things that makes you different than other men I know. It's one of the things that makes you so attractive to me.
I think you're attracted to every man.
That's not true. I know I'm a flirt, I admit it, but it's all unconscious. Perhaps it had something to do with my childhood.
What is this now? The Let's Psychoanalyze Raven game? You think this one's pretty cute, too, don't you?
You don't believe me anymore, do you?
Mm-mm.
Well, I think I know why. I know why you don't trust me anymore. Because you don't trust yourself. You're afraid if you get involved with me, I'll hurt you like that other woman.
What is this now? The Let's Analyze Derek game? Is that it?
Derek, you won't know how you really feel about me until we really get together. And that's going to happen very soon. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing, I don't know.
Don't you want to ride on the carousel?
I didn't say that. I just thought it was too soon after all the hamburgers and hot dogs we ate.
Well, look, I'm willing to do anything you want. We'll save the carousel for later.
All right. Why don't we go over on the Midway and I'll win you a Cupid doll or something?
No, I have a better idea. Let's go on the bumper cars and then we can go really fast and make big circles and I'll bump into you.
Do we really have to?
Kirk Michaels, you're yellow.
Frankie, that's Larry. You're gonna think I'm nuts, but I swear it's the truth. I just saw Kirk Michaels. No, I mean it. This chick was talking to him, using his name. It even looks like him. Frankie, I ain't touching a drop in the daytime. You know they'd can me from this park. It's Kirk Michaels, I'm telling you. He's right here. And he's not getting away.
Why don't we go over on the Midway and I'll win you a Cupid doll or something?
No, I have a better idea. Let's go on the bumper cars and then we can go really fast and make big circles and I'll bump into you.
Do we really have to?
Kirk Michaels, you're yellow. Come on.
Frankie, it's Larry. You're gonna think I'm nuts, but I swear it's the truth. I just saw Kirk Michaels. No, I mean it. This chick was talking to him, called him by name. It even looks like him. Frankie, I ain't touching a drop in the daytime. You know they'd can me from this park. It's Kirk Michaels, I'm telling you. He's right here. And he ain't getting away. All right, let me check it out, all right? I'll get back to you. Yeah.
Hi, Uncle Mike.
Hi, Kelly. You and your friend ought to come out and enjoy the sunshine.
Well, if we do, you'll just put us to work.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. Besides, your thumb doesn't look too green at the moment. Nancy made some lemonade there on the table. Why don't you help yourself?
Well, we don't work out much of a thirst just practicing. Even if that's all we ever get a chance to do. You know, Mike, sometimes people think I'm just a big kid playing with dolls.
What do you care what other people think? You know, I thought you'd be on top of the world today after all that publicity you and your puppets got on the Bobby Burrows show last night.
Yeah, that was really nice of Mr. Burrows to do all that, but of course I know why. Well, he's grateful to you, Mike.
Oh, no. The case I handled for Bobby was a long time ago. It was strictly business. If he's grateful to anyone, it's to you.
Well, I didn't do anything for him.
Well, you made his little boy's stay in the hospital easier, and that means a lot to fathers. Besides, what he said was the truth, wasn't it? Your show was a hit at the Unicorn.
Well, it was a hit, all right. But Mr. Dorn didn't think so. Matter of fact, my little pals here almost cost me my job.
Kelly, did you ever stop to think if it's really the right job for you? If it's going to take you where you want to go?
Well, sure I've thought about it. But there's something just as important as my show business career, Mike. Well, I've got to start being independent. Be able to afford to have a place of my own.
That really bothers you, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't like sponging off people. Even if they are family.
It's all well and good to want to be independent, Kelly, but the nice thing about having a family is it gives you someplace to turn to for help and support. And it works both ways, you know. One of these days, we may be coming to you for something.
Like what?
Tickets to your first Broadway show?
Hey, that'll be the day. It's getting late. Better get going to work. Put my puppets away.
Saturday night's the big night at the disco, huh?
It's supposed to be that way anyway. But we haven't had that many customers yet.
Oh, business still isn't good?
I don't see how Mr. Dorn keeps the place going. In fact, I might not even have that job for very long.
You could get another job, couldn't you?
Well, sure I could. But I like working at the Unicorn for a couple of reasons.
Would one of the reasons be the new girl who works there?
Well, she certainly makes going to work a lot more interesting. But work's about the only place I get to see Jody. She's either at the Unicorn or at the dance studio down the block. Well, I told you she wants to be a professional dancer more than anything else, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. So, her career is your competition?
Well, her dancing career isn't my only competition. There's this dance instructor named Gavin. And he has a lot more in common with Jody than I do.
I didn't know that you show business types were so easily discouraged.
Well, I guess I just got to try a little harder. In fact, I think I'm going to do that right now.
Now, that's what I like to hear.
See you later.
Okay, Kelly.
And there's no doubt that she is who she says she is?
Well, I never really doubted it. But to be sure, Miles and Derek did some checking. Jody is definitely my father's child.
Oh, dear. Nicole, did you ever, even by chance, ever run into her mother?
No, I never did. And to tell you the truth, from what I've heard about Billy Lorraine, I don't think I want to.
Yeah. Well, tell me about the girl. What's she like?
Well, she's young, 18. She's got dark hair, and she's very pretty. And, of course, I don't know very much about her as a person, but she managed to make a very good first impression.
Oh, how? In what way?
Well, she didn't push the relationship. She didn't demand recognition or anything. And when Miles offered to help her financially, she turned him down.
Well. Little independent, huh? Sounds just like my nephew.
Well, that's interesting that they discovered each other before we knew anything about it.
Oh, well, I'm not so sure that Jody has discovered Kelly, because from what he's told us, she's been giving him something of a cold shoulder.
Anyway, we both seem to have expanded our families recently, haven't we?
Yeah. How do you feel about it?
I don't know. I just don't know. It's so strange to have a sister here in the same town and not to know the first thing about her.
Yeah. I assume you don't have any real, legal responsibility for her.
No, I suppose I don't, but I can't help feeling responsible. We do share the same father.
Yeah. Well, since you offered to give her help and she refused, what else do you want to do?
I don't know. What can I do? All I can do is wait and see. Hey, maybe she'll change her mind about Kelly, and then we'll have a lot more in common than we already do.
You may have a point there. Maybe we can enter into a conspiracy of matchmaking, huh? Would you like to bring her over for dinner one evening?
Well, there's a little problem there. Jody's busy every night.
Why, what does she do?
Apparently, she spends every evening practicing her dancing.
Watch your balance. Come on, you can do better than that. Keep that left leg straight. Come on. All right, that's enough.
What do you mean that's enough?
You're getting too tired.
No, I'm not.
You're dancing as if you are.
But I only missed one step.
You're ready to collapse, honey. All right, forget it. Take a break. No, on second thought, let's call it a day.
But Gavin, you can't do that to me. I haven't practiced more than 1 hour today.
Look, you've got to report to work very soon, and you're going to be on your feet all night waiting on tables.
I know what I'm doing.
The hell you do? Come on, Jody. What's the hurry? Your Broadway debut is still a couple of years away. I think they'll hold the curtain.
Yeah, well, if you ask me, I'd say you're the one who's tired, okay? So why don't you call it a day, and I'll just finish up my exercises.
You know, a dance teacher is like a doctor. You either take his advice or you get yourself somebody else.
Oh, is that a threat?
Why do you have to dance 8 hours every day? What makes you think it's worth all the pain? Do you know how many unemployed dancers there are in this country? The reason they're all so thin isn't because of exercise, it's starvation.
Oh, well, thank you so much for the encouragement.
Every hoofer I ever met thought they were going to make it big, but they didn't kill themselves in the attempt.
And I bet you none of them ever made it either.
No. None of them ever made it. None that I ever knew.
Yeah, well, that says a lot for your teaching ability, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, if Bob Fosse is waiting for you, honey, then go right ahead.
Gavin, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that, really.
You're right, though. None of my pupils ever did become a star. But at least a half a dozen of them are working in chorus lines and nightclubs and stuff like that.
You haven't been teaching very long, have you?
No, this last couple of years.
Oh, well, then there you are. Well, how do you know one of your pupils isn't going to become a star? It just takes time. Maybe I'll be your first one.
If you live long enough. Jody, what is it? What are you trying to prove?
Nothing. Why do people ask me stupid questions like that? What are you trying to prove? Why do I have to prove anything? I just want to be a dancer. I want to be something special. I don't want to end up like my...
Like who?
Like my mother.
Didn't you say she was an actress?
That's right. She's an actress. And I don't want to be the kind of actress she is. An actress who never acts, who probably couldn't act to begin with. No, when I tell people I'm a dancer, it's going to be the God's honest truth.
Do you want a soda? Going out for one.
No, thanks.
Oh, hello, Gavin.
Hello, Kelly.
Is Jody in there?
Inside.
Well, I thought I'd do the same thing you did the other night. Walk her to where she has to go.
That's pretty nice of you. Only it's daylight out now. The only reason I walked Jody home was because it was dark out.
Well, then, maybe she won't mind having some company, huh?
Better ask her.
I will. Gavin! Jody? Jody, are you all right?
I'm all right.
Do you need a doctor?
No.
You're definitely in no shape to go to work tonight.
No, you better tell the boss she's sick, Kelly.
You can't do that. I have to work. I'll be all right in a little while. Really, I will.
No. Gavin's right. I'll tell Mr. Dorn that you won't be in this evening.
Oh, but Kelly, it's Saturday night.
Oh, don't worry. I'll take care of waiting on the tables for you.
Will you? Oh, Kelly, you're terrific. Thank you.
You know, I get the impression that you're not interested in my problems.
Honey, there's a time for your problems, and there's definitely a time for mine.
But, darling, I thought we were going to share all our problems.
Good. Pay half my bills.
No, thank you. I've got enough money problems of my own, but they are going to be solved very soon in a very big way.
Yes. When and if.
What do you mean, if?
If you win the custody trial, darling, don't forget that little detail. Surely you realize that if you lose it, the one who's going to benefit most from this is going to be your husband.
Don't say that. That is a sickening thought. Logan getting all my mother's money. And if he knew that that baby was a millionaire, you better believe he would try a lot harder.
I get the impression Logan is going to fight very, very hard, even if that kid is very broke.
Well, he can do what he likes because he's already lost the case. There's nothing he can say in court. He doesn't have a letter, doesn't have a witness. He has absolutely nothing.
Yes.
Mr. Dorn, can I speak to you for a moment?
Ah, Kelly, how are you? I'm delighted to see you.
You are?
Have you met Mrs. Swift?
Well, not formally.
Well, this is Mrs. Swift, and Raven, this is Kelly McGrath, a highly valued employee. Why don't you come in and sit down? Now, what can I do for you?
Well, Jody Travis took ill tonight, so I came in to tell you that she can't go to work.
Why didn't she call in herself?
Well, I happened to be with her at the time, so I volunteered to tell you. But don't worry, there won't be any problem. I can help wait on the tables.
Waiting on tables? Kelly, I wouldn't think of it. I have something much better in mind for you.
You do?
Yes, I think you're cut out for finer stuff. Why don't you go home and bring back some of those delightful little friends of yours?
My puppets?
Yes, I've always found them very charming, of course.
You did?
I hit it well. It's just that after a while, it's not a question of personal taste anymore, but of popular demand. You have to give the public what they want. Didn't Barnum say that?
I think he said something like, there's a sucker born every minute.
It seems, Kelly, that a disc jockey at a local radio station had a few kind words to say about your furry friends. So, go home and bring back as many as you can carry. You're in show business now.
Bye.
Come on, let's sit down. I am running out of steam.
Oh, how many rides have we been on?
Oh, 5, 6, I don't know. It feels like 106.
Oh, your leg doesn't hurt you, does it?
No, my leg is fine. It's the rest of my body that's giving out.
Oh, stop. This is such a wonderful idea. I don't think I've had this wonderful a day in my whole life. You know, we haven't been on the carousel yet.
Yeah, I know. Well, to be honest with you, I don't think I want to ride on the carousel. Maybe it was just that partial memory I had.
I'm sure it was just something from your childhood.
No, I don't think so. When I think of the carousel, I think of the picnic. Then I think of that woman with the golden hair.
You know something? I'm hungry. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can believe that. We've had a lot of exercise.
Well, I don't think I could manage another hamburger, could I? But I could really go for an ice cream cone.
Ice cream?
Yeah.
Now? It doesn't sound too bad. I haven't had ice cream in quite a while. All right, I saw an ice cream stand over there. I'll go get us some.
No, I'll go with
No,
you.
no. You stay here. I know you're very tired. What flavor would you like?
Chocolate, of course. Is there any other?
Oh, yeah, there are several others. Vanilla, strawberry, butter pecan,
stop being a wise guy.
coffee.
Just bring me the chocolate.
Okay, be right back.
I know what it reminds you of, Kirk. Reminds you of her.
Mrs. Kirk Michaels?
Yes. Do I know you?
No, Mrs. Michaels. But I know your husband. I haven't seen Kirk for a long time. Must be a good 10 years, I guess. I hardly recognized him, to tell you the truth.
No, you didn't recognize him at all. You're thinking of someone else.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. I mean, it's not that usual of a name, is it? And he sure looks like my old buddy Kirk, all right.
Well, where do you know him from?
I was right here in Monticello. We were in business together, as a matter of fact.
What kind of business?
Yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about, old Kirk and me.
No, you're mistaken. I'm absolutely positive of it. My husband and I don't even come from Monticello. We just moved here a few weeks ago. We're actually from upstate, Evansville.
Evansville. Now I know I got the right party. You see, that's where Kirk Michaels lived 10 years ago. Only he got into a little jam, and they sent him to one of those correctional institutions, if you know what I mean.
No, you're wrong. It's not the same person.
Yeah, they sent him to this place, only he didn't stay there too long. There was this nice welfare type lady that took him out of there.
You're completely mistaken.
Am I? Well, we'll just wait till he gets back.
Please. Even if he is the same person, he's not going to recognize you.
Oh.
No,
Look, I know 10 years is a long time.
No, it's not just that. Well, he's been ill. He's been seriously ill. He lost his memory. He can't remember anything for the past 10 years. He won't remember you either.
You know something? I had an idea that his memory wouldn't be too good. But don't worry. I intend to remind him about everything. And you're staying right here until I do.